Maraming naniniwala na si Garma ang utak sa pananambang kay Barayugan, isang retired Brigadier General na miyembro ng PMA Class 1983.
Kahit po may krimen, sasabihin nila na okay lang napatayin yan dahil drug lord naman. When in fact, it should not have been. Dapat pong kasuhan, ito pong pumatay or nakapatay, at sa korte po patutunayan yung kaso.
Nag-utos na po ang ating Chief PNP para muling buksan. Then sino ba yung mga nag-imbestiga dito? Nagkaroon ba ng kapabayaan? Nagkaroon ba ng pagtatakip lalo na dito sa ginawang pag-iimbestiga dito? So lahat po ng humawak ng kaso na yan, sino po ba yung mga nakaposisyon during that time nung mangyari yan? Sino ang mga humawak ng kaso? Lahat po yan ay pinabubuksan po ng ating Chief PNP.
Recommending to the Quad Committee that the DOJ, who is right now hearing this, make charges against you. Ikaw ang city director. Ito patay. Nagsalita ka pa. Nagsalita ka pa dito mo. Bakit isa lang ang namatay? Bakit isa lang ang pinatay? Oh, samantalang napakarami nila. And you're telling me now, you're denying that, Mr. Chair?
Wala
Hindi rin, no? Therefore, naging sinungaling si Mutulfo, naging sinungaling si Colonel Mendoza, naging sinungaling si Nelson Mariano. Am I right?
Opinion nila yun, Mr. Chair.
Then, am I right? Yes or no?
Hindi. Para sa akin, hindi
Nagsisinungaling ba sila?
I cannot... Yes, Mr. Chair.
Puro iwas sa tanong panoorin natin ang buong istorya.
Nag-utos na po ang ating Chief PNP para muling buksan to shed light on this matter and again, para ma-reduce into writing po itong mga revelation po nila during the Quadcom committee hearing po. Si Santi Mendoza po ay nilabasan na po ng order, nirelieve na po siya from PDEG at nilagay na po siya sa personnel holding admin unit po ng Kamkrame. So under restrictive custody na po siya so that ma-ensure po natin yung kanyang appearance dito po sa mga gagawin po nating investigation, and of course, one of the main consideration is to secure them po. Well, definitely, aside dito po sa mga binigay po niyang statement during the Quadcom committee hearing that will be used by the CADG in reopening this case, definitely po ay may kakaharapin din po silang mga administrative cases with respect dito po sa kanilang involvement. At siya po mismo ang umamin na may kinalaman po siya. Siya po ang naghanap po ng mga taong papatay po dito kay Ginoong Barayuga. So, these are testimonies na narinig po nating lahat, and definitely this will be used by the CIDG in pursuing cases against them. So
You will deny all of the statement given by Lieutenant Colonel Mendoza, just like you denied that you were on hand in the killing of 3 Chinese drug lords in Davao Penal Colony. Am I right?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
I remember during that time, Colonel Padilla is here, that Artner Solis, you directed Artner Solis to talk with Tata about killing those 3 drug lords. And even Colonel Padilla, in his testimony, testified it. You're denying it, am I right?
May I be clarified?
You are denying it, am I right? Yes or no?
Denying what, Mr. Chair? Pakiulit
My
po
goodness, I have asked the question already, and I know you understood my question. Colonel Padilla, you have testified here in this committee that Colonel Leonardo is part of it. Am I right?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Are you denying it?
I'm denying it, Mr. Chair.
You're denying it also, a testimony of Colonel Mendoza. Am I right?
Correct po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to hold in contempt Colonel Leonardo. So move, Mr. Chair.
Chairman Abante, earlier, he was already cited in contempt.
Oh, okay.
And there was
Di ba
already...
pwedeng pangalawang contempt?
We will just probably allow him to
Okay.
serve the first contempt order, and then later on we decide.
May I
if he
continue
still-
on? Okay, Colonel Garma, nabanggit mo sa test question ni Congressman Flores na ngayon mo lang nalaman itong mga bagay na ito.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Si Mr. Ramon Tulfo on September 17, ito ang sinabi niya. Pakinggan mo mabuti ha. Ang sabi ni Montulfo, inuulit ko ang aking suggestion. Ibig sabihin, he suggested that before, na dapat imbestigahan si dating PCSO General Manager Royin Garma pagpatay kay PCSO Board Member Wesley Barayugan. Maraming naniniwala na si Garma ang utak sa pananambang kay Barayugan, isang retired Brigadier General na miyembro ng PMA Class 1983. Si Barayugan kasi bilang board member ng PCSO ang umaharang sa pagbibigay ni Garma ng mga STL franchises sa kanyang mga kaibigan. You deny that, am I right?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Ito pa, natutuloy ko ha. Di pa nalulutas ang patay kay Barayugan. That's why these people here came to testify. And I'm telling it to you right now, as I can notice the testimony of Colonel Mendoza here. I have never seen any police officer weep before this committee or any committee for that matter. This man, I believe, is telling the truth, Colonel Garma. Montulfo, I believe, is telling the truth. Now, tutuloy ko ha. May news blackout doon sa assassination dahil alam ng mga investigador, ito ha, na si Garma at Pangulong Digong ay magsyota. Totoo o hindi?
Hindi po totoo, Mr. Chair.
May mga report na yung anak ni Garma na may kapansanan na anak din ni Digong. Ito totoo, di ba?
Mr. Chair, can we spare my daughter, Mr. Chair? She has nothing
Hindi po
to
totoo
do with
yun, di ba?
this. Yes,
Oo.
it's not true.
Napilitang alisin ni Digong sa PCSO si Garma nang umangal na ang mga generals at colonels na mga graduate din ng PMA gaya ni Barayugan. Hindi rin po totoo to, hindi ba?
Wala akong
Hindi
alam.
rin, no? Therefore, nag-isinungaling si Montulfo, nag-isinungaling si Colonel Mendoza, nag-isinungaling si Nelson Mariano. Am I right?
Opinion nila yun, Mr. Chair.
Then, am I
Para sa
right?
akin
Yes
po,
or no?
Para sa akin, hindi po totoo lahat.
Nagsisinungaling ba sila?
I cannot... Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, now, let me go back. Let me go back when you were the chief of police of Cebu City. Nandito ang affidavit ni Baby Rosales na ang kanyang anak ay napatay nung ikaw ang chief of police ng Cebu City. Naalala mo?
Wala po akong natatandaan po, Mr. Chair.
October 4, 2018. Hindi ba ikaw ang chief of police ng
Yeah, I am
Cebu
the-
City at that time?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I'm the
Okay,
city
siya po
director.
ay napatay nung panahon na ikaw ang chief of police.
I'm the city director. There are station commanders
Ito ang
under...
affidavit ni Baby Rosales.
Yes.
Alright. Now, merong case summary dito ng sworn statement ni Miss Raquel Lopez. Naalala mo si Raquel Lopez?
No, Mr. Chair.
Hindi mo naalala. Ito ang sinabi niya para malaman mo. Sa wikang Ingles na tinranslate ni William Reyes, ang sabi niya, during the wake of my son, Garma and her police officers arrived in my place. Those who were attending the wake scampered away from seeing them. Garma was enraged as she hollered out and strut around. She was angry at us for holding awake on the death of my son. She yelled out, "Why is there only one dead? There are many of them here." You are also denying that.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
You are.
Yes. I am denying it. Wala akong sinabing ganyan, Mr. Chair.
You were the you were the at that time in Cebu City.
City director, Mr. Chair.
You are the city director at that time. Therefore, you know this incident. Hindi pwedeng ikaw, Senior Director, na hindi mo alam ang insidenteng ito.
Can I...
My goodness naman,
I'm
Colonel
aware.
Garma, you are the director, the Senior Director.
I cannot
Hindi ka
recall.
pinapaniwala na hindi mo alam sa mga nangyaring ito. Ito na nagtetestimony, napatay ang kanyang anak. Ikaw, umiiyak ka dito nung kinontem ka namin sapagkat naalala ang anak mo. Ito, napatay yung anak niya. Sumisigaw ka pa, sinasabi mo dito, ha? Okay. Hindi ako nagagalit sa'yo. Dynamic lang ako. Naunawahan mo ako?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
To give emphasis to what I'm trying to say. Ito, nag-mention siya, during the wake of my son, Garma and their police officers arrive in my place. Ikaw pa nagsabi, nagalit ka pa at sinabi mo, why is there only one dead? There are many of them here. Nakalimutan mo ito? Hindi mo maalala?
Wala akong sinabing ganyan, Mr. Chair.
Well, sworn statement ito
Yes,
ni
Your
Miss
Honor.
Raquel Lopez. Sworn statement. Gusto ko lang sabihin sa iyo, when we cited you in contempt, you are weeping before your lawyer because you remember your own child na maiiwan, a special child. Buhay siya eh. Buhay siya, Colonel Garma. Umiiyak ka na. Buhay siya. Ito patay. Ikaw ang city director. Ito patay. Nagsalita ka pa. Nagsalita ka pa dito mo. Bakit isa lang ang namatay? Bakit isa lang ang pinatay? Oh, samantalang napakarami nila. And you're telling me now, you're denying that, Mr. Chair? Di mo lang siguro maalala at baka nakalimutan mo sapagkat matagal na ito eh. 2018 pa ito eh. Baka nakalimutan mo, ipinapaalala ko lamang sa iyo, you're under oath here, ha? And we are trying to pass legislation so that this will not happen again. Mr. Chair, ano ang gusto mong sabihin? Tell it to us now. Lie under your teeth. Tell us. Colonel Garma, ako, hindi ko akalain bilang ikaw isang babae, no? Magagawa mo ito. You're denying it right now. You're denying everything right now. Ang dami mo nang dinenay, Colonel Garma. At nakikita po ng taong bayan dito, napakalaki ng problema ng ating kapulisan na katulad ng marami mga eskalawag. Dapat malaman ito ng Director General Marbil na dapat niyang asikasuhin ang ayusin ang nangyayari sa Philippine National Police. This person here, si Lieutenant Colonel Mendoza, tinitingnan mo siya when he was testifying before us, when he was reading his affidavit, nakatingin ka sa kanya, nakasimangot ka sa kanya, galit ka sa kanya. And this guy is weeping before us while he was saying this, while you are angry at him. Nelson Mariano testified, 2 of them against you and against Leonardo. 2 against you, both of you. And you're denying it. Listen, akala niyo ba politics itong ginagawa namin? Kung sinasabi po ni Col Mendoza, natatakot siya sa buhay niya. Kami ba, matapang ba kami? Hindi ko kami matapang, pero kinakailangan namin gawin to upang maayos na natin ang problema sa ating bansa. Hindi ba gusto mo rin ayusin, Colonel Garma?
Mr. Chair.
Gusto mo yung ayusin, Colonel Leonardo? Gusto nyo rin ayusin, di ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ayusin natin. Magsabi kayo ng totoo. Look, I will be recommending to the Quad Committee that the DOJ, who is right now hearing this, make charges against you?
Nung nangyari po yung namatay, si General Barayuga, at nalaman po ninyo, ano po yung una yung naging direktiba?
Nagulat pa ako. I think I made a report to the chair. I cannot recall. I made a report. And then, inalam ko po kung, kasi inimbestigahan na yun, inalam ko po kung pandemic kasi ho, mahirap gumalaw. Inalam ko na lang po, after na nagkaroon ng crime scene investigation, inalam ko po kung saan po siya dinala.
Inalam ko.
Si Board Secretary Barayuga, inalam ko po because during that time, pandemic yun, ako lang po ata or I was in the office kasi nung nalaman ko, so inalam ko kung saan siya para ma-facilitate po yung ano po.
Okay. Gusto ko lang po tanungin si Colonel Sante Mendoza. Sa salaysay niyo po, nasabi niyo, tinawagan po kayo ni Colonel Leonardo, hindi ho ba?
Opo.
At sa salaysay niyo din po, sinabi po ninyo na nagkaroon kayo ng alinlangan doon sa sinabi po sa inyo na patay, no? Yung isang nagngangalang to Attorney Barayuga, tama yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
At sabi mo, natatakot ka dahil ito ay isang opisyal ng gobyerno at hindi mo alam yung kanyang background. So magkakaroon ka muna ng sarili mong, parang gagawa ka muna ng sarili mong surveillance. Tama po ba yun?
You have to get your own information for the subject, Your Honor. Hindi po yung magso-surveillance.
Ay, ano pa ba yung sabi? Kasi nawala sa akin, nasa akin kasi na yung kanina yung ano mo eh. Pero let me just to paraphrase, no? I'm just trying to understand. Based on your salaysay, ang sabi niyo po is magkakaroon muna ka, natatakot nga ho kayo, di ba? Dahil isang opisyal ang at hindi niyo kilala. At humihingi kayo ba ng oras para, ano po yung hinihingi nyo na oras?
To verify the...
To verify, tama. Not
information, sir.
Yeah, stand corrected. To verify. At nasabi din po ni Colonel Leonardo na na-assign na, alam na yung sasakyan, ibibigay na sa inyo yung sasakyan, hindi ba? Parang identified na kung ano yung sasakyan niya dahil inassign ito kay Attorney Barayuga. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. In addition to that, binigay niya po yung sasakyan na yan, pati yung driver. Yung time of the yung umaga po nung July 30, 2020 po.
At sinabi po din ni Colonel, according to your salaysay, sinabi ni Colonel Leonardo sa'yo na yung sasakyan identified na, anong sasakyan ni Attorney Barayuga. Ito'y isang pick-up na puti with plate number, etc. etc. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Na na-identify ito, na na-assign ni General Manager Garma doon sa board secretary niya, which in this case, yung namatay nga, or pinaslang, na si Attorney Barayuga. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Okay. Maraming salamat po. The reason why I'm stating this, Mr. Chair, is that based on the earlier in questioning of Congressman Pimentel, parang ang position po ng ni Colonel Garma is that una, hindi niya alam yung may nag-mass procure, and number two, hindi niya directly na inassign yung sasakyan dahil according lang yun sa recommendation ng isang division o opisina. But we have proven here, Mr. Chair, that he has the power to either reject or to reshuffle or not to approve the assignment of each vehicle to each of the board members who will be receiving this vehicle as part of their official transport. So, Mr. Chair, this actually corroborates, Mr. Chair, for me, at least for this representation, corroborates, Mr. Chair, the testimony of Mr. Mendoza as to the establishment of the fact that indeed it was made easier for the hitman to identify where General Barayuga would be riding in. Anong type na sasakyan, anong plate number, etc., which actually materialized yung assassination po na ginawa kay General Barayuga. Now, I'd like to ask po, Mr. Chair, if we have the PNP, yung nag-iimbestiga po dito sa kaso na ito. May I ask, okay, gusto ko lang pong malaman, based doon sa, kasi dito po sa nasubmit po sa COMSEC namin na investigation, ang sinabi po dito ay the facts of the case, no? Sinabi dito is, this pertains to the continuation of the investigation being conducted. So, tama ho ba ang pagkaintindi ko na wala pa pong resolution nitong kaso na ito?
Yes, sir. This case was never terminated and we are still waiting for new evidence to surface, sir.
Oo. So, ayun po sa rekomendasyon ninyo, no? Ang sinasabi niyo po ay the recommendations is that it should continue on to conduct an in-depth investigation on the alleged na sinabing involvement of the late Attorney Wesley Barayuga doon po sa sinasabi ninyong previous na assignment when he was a chief of police. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair, sir. That was the recommendation before of the head of SITG,
So, my
Police
question-
Colonel Marantan.
My question, Mr. Chair, is what made PNP conclude that the murder of Attorney Barayuga was related to his former assignment?
I was then Mr. Chair, sir, I was then the Chief of Staff of CIDG and I have heard that, some what have been stated during the case conferences that
No, my question is very simple po, no? What made you conclude that this investigation that you recommend has something to do with his previous assignment? Bakit yun lang yung angling nyo, Mr. Chair? At
Mr.
hindi nyo tiningnan yung mga possible other motives.
that was one of the recommended actions.
Why?
Possible motive, sir. Because the investigators was then looking into the angle that Brigadier General Wesley Barayuga was involved in illegal drugs.
Yeah, but again, based on the evidences that we have gathered, there was no cases filed against him. Was there any case filed administratively or otherwise before the assassination took place?
No case filed, sir. But
see?
there was another recommendation, sir, that to look into the result of the filing of cases of the NBI against PCS officials.
Maybe it has something to do with the STL as earlier mentioned. No?
Yes, sir. That was
But hindi nyo po, Mr. Chair, but hindi ho tinignan ng PNP yun as one of the motive or angle for the assassination of General Barayuga, because that's the only recommendation you have here according to your fact-finding. And yet you're saying maybe it has something to do with his previous assignment, when in fact you admitted that there's no case filed against General Barayuga when he was then the City Police Director of Iloilo, that may have something to do with selling of illegal drugs. Then why suddenly you jump on that conclusion and maybe, zeroing in that kind of angle? Bakit po?
Mr. Chair, sir, in the investigation report that was submitted by Colonel Marantan, sa paragraph 15, he mentioned that they're asking the minutes regarding the 3 PCSO board meetings attended by Attorney Barayuga.
Yung sinabi niyo pong meron po kayong continuing investigation, would you still be open to other possibility of investigating the possible motive? Or do you still stick to this motive, investigating this previous allegation, yung previous assignment niya? Dahil wala kayong, I don't think there will be any basis in reference for you to continue on investigating his previous assignment, kasi you yourself would nag-admit na wala nga talaga kayong walang kaso na file against him. Would you still open to any further investigation, like probably looking at the possible involvement STL suspension?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I think that is another angle that has to be pursued.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to go back to Colonel Garma, Mr. Chair. Colonel Garma, you said
Mr.
yung
Chair. Mr. Chair, with the indulgence of the Honorable Adjong,
Yes, of course.
may I ask ikaw bang SITG ko head?
No, sir. I represent, sir, the Director CIDG, Police, Brigadier General
Ang
Nicolas
sinabi
Torres,
po
sir.
ninyo, kasagutan nyo kay Honorable Adjong, ang number one theory ninyo kung bakit pinatay si Wesley Barayuga is he is connected with illegal drugs. Would that be correct? Narinig ko ba yun ng tama?
Yes, Mr. Chair, sir. That was the one of the recommendations, sir, of
I
Colonel
agree.
Maranda,
But
sir.
what is the basis of that recommendation?
In the initial investigation that was conducted, sir, we found out this, that the victim, General Barayuga, was listed in the watch list of illegal drugs.
Oh, sige, magdidebate tayo mamaya.
But that was just an angle, sir.
Magdidebate tayo mamaya. Sinisiguro ko lang na yun ang statement mo. Kasi the PDEA is here. And I think he will refute your statement. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, just sino bang head nung SITG that time?
Police Colonel Hansel Marandan, sir.
Oh, hindi mo alam Colonel Grialdo? Tinanong kita kanina.
Yes, sir. The case is handled. I ordered.
Hindi, tanong ko lang sinong head. Di ba hindi mo sinagot?
Yes, I answered, Mr. Chair.
Na si Colonel
Colonel Wilson Lopez.
Oh, ba't si Colonel Marantan daw? Or is telling the truth?
Sir,
Yes, Colonel David Puklay.
Sir, the SITG of CIDG was created after, I think, the Eastern Police District passed the case to the CIDG, sir. And
Okay,
that's why
so-
we created another SITG, sir, purposely to continue the investigation.
Okay, now it's clear. 6 months after, nung inilipat na yung investigation sa CIDG. Tama?
We activated the SITG last September 13, 2022.
2022.
Yes, sir.
Oh, ba't sabi kanina ni Colonel Grialdo 6 months after? And that incident happened 2020. Paki-check nyo nga yung records nyo. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, paki-clear lang po yung mga records nyo kasi may itatanong din si Chairman ako at saka ako tungkol dun sa SITG. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, please proceed.
Thank
You have 1 minute, Congressman Adjong.
Thank you. I'll just wrap up na lang po, Mr. Chair. No? Kasi what is strange to me, Mr. Chair, is that in the crime scene, when it was investigated, the Honda car that was, yung nasa Honda po sa harap, it was identified. The motorcycles were identified. The driver was identified. May mga CCTV tayo na nakuha, and all those bystanders who saw the incident were identified. Pero ang hindi na-identify, Mr. Chair, and it has been going on for 4 years, is the possible motive, for example, and why up to now it has been remained unresolved for 4 years now. So, which actually leads me to probably my assumption, Mr. Chair, that the drug war at that time was made as a reference, as an excuse, probably for any individual who may be holding possible high office, to use that as a pretense to probably to get back on somebody na with personal vendetta, na meron silang personal vendetta. That's actually the thing that I have in mind, Mr. Chair. That's why I'd like to ask, Mr. Chair, Attorney Conti, Attorney Conti, dahil itong mga operation sa drug war na to, Attorney, you've heard out the salaysay, the affidavits of our witnesses here, Colonel Mendoza and Mr. Mariano, Would you think that their testimonies have some semblance, no? Or may have corroborate the findings of your own investigation insofar as the EJK is concerned, no? Based on your based on the findings that you did during those times, would you say that based on their testimonies, it may have similarity that to me might say na may system talaga, may pattern talaga na itong drug war nung nakaraang administrasyon ay nagagamit ito para rampant yung pagpatay, hindi lang dun sa mga small scale, small time na mga pushers on the street, but even this is also being used as a way to advance personal vendetta and then take down those personalities na ayaw nila or ayaw nilang makita or ayaw gumalaw o ayaw maipangbestiga na certain activity na makakasira sa kanila. Your Honors, if I may allow, if Ms. Attorney Conti may be allowed to respond to that question.
Yes, Your Honor. Specifically as to the circumstance of riding in tandem killing. So ito po yung katulad ng nakita po natin. It jives with the observations and statements of our witnesses who have been victimized by this kind of modus operandi. That one, the perpetrator rarely is identified and even years after. So kahit po maraming witnesses na nakakita, walang makaka-identify, walang makaka-describe sa pumatay mismo. Second, and therefore you would have no case moving forward. Second, that the cases would likely be archived, sent to cold cases ang tawag po nila, at hindi na po mababalikan. And our theory is that either the police are coddling the perpetrators themselves, kumbaga protektado po nila yung pumatay, yung umalis, or second, it's the police themselves who are the killers. That is our perception from the ground. And this modus operandi, Your Honors, is not only particular to the war on drugs, it's also applicable to any other politically motivated or any such motivated killings. Even in the killings of activists, ito na po ang modus operandi talaga. Basta po tinawag na enemy of the state. And during the time of Duterte, all drug addicts, all drug pushers, all those related to the drug trade, quote-unquote, were called enemies of the state. In fact, Your Honor, if I may just add, as related to parang yung kaaway po na kung sino mang nasa posisyon, posible po yon. And we thought that the narco-politicians list was one indication that the drug war could be directed against the political opposition. Kumbaga, pwede pong imbentohin yung mga pangalan na ilalagay doon, o kaya singitan, o kaya on-site, kapag papatayin, sasabihin nila, drug lord to, o kaya drug addict to. Because from the point of view of the PNP and many others in power at that time, just the invocation of the drug war, or that this is an enemy of the state, was enough as an exempting circumstance in relation to the crime. Kahit po may krimen, sasabihin nila na okay lang napatayin yan dahil drug lord naman. When in fact, it should not have been. Dapat pong kasuhan, ito pong pumatay or nakapatay, at sa korte po patutunayan yung kaso.